Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Meet with Us. This month, we're talking all about bravery. Do you know what being brave means? Being brave means doing something that might scare you. So I want to share something that used to scare me. When I was a little girl, I used to be afraid of roller coasters. So one day, I built up the courage when I was at an amusement park with my family, and I said, I'm going to beat this fear, and I'm going to get on that roller coaster. So what did I do? I got on, I rode the roller coaster, and what's the first thing I said when I got off? I love roller coasters! So even though I was scared and I didn't want to do something, I pushed through that fear, I got on the roller coaster, and I proved that I was brave, and I ended up loving them. So do you have something that might scare you? Over the next few weeks, I want you to try to conquer that fear and share with us at the end of the month that you were able to show you were brave and had courage. Maybe it's sleeping without a nightlight on. Maybe it's riding your bike with no training wheels. Whatever it is, I want you to share with us about being brave and having courage. All right, so since we're talking all about bravery, I want to do a fun little activity after we read this book. This is called The Bravest Fish. And our main little character, the little fish here, his name is Stanley. And after we're done, we're going to talk together about what made Stanley brave. So you guys ready to read the story? All right, The Bravest Fish. How cute is little Stanley? All right, far below the waves, a little fish named Stanley lived with his school. They were the brightest, sparkliest fish of the deep, dark sea. One morning, Stanley woke up late. Hello, it's me, he called to his friends, but the reef was strangely quiet. Oh no, is he all alone? Suddenly, Stanley remembered that today was the day his school swam to cooler waters for the summer. Jumping jellyfish, he groaned. He hurried to the meeting point as fast as his fins could carry him. But no one was there. As he looked around, he saw a bright light. Ah, they haven't gone far, he said, and he raced toward that glow. But it was only a mean lobster counting coins. Go away! Don't touch my treasure, the lobster growled, snapping his claws. I'm looking for my friends, said Stanley. Fish, the lobster grumbled. Those others were in such a hurry to find someone they upset my coins. Others? asked Stanley. My friends? Join them then, snarled the lobster, and Stanley sped off. What a mean little lobster. Ahead of him, Stanley saw a shimmer. He could just make out the bright, sparkly fish. One of his friends. Hello, it's me, he called, swimming faster. So he sees one of his friends, he thinks. Clonk! Stanley crashed headfirst into something hard. Jumping jellyfish, he cried. It wasn't one of his friends after all, but his own reflection in a shiny pearl. So it wasn't his friend after all, he's still all alone. Poor Stanley. Stanley rubbed his bump nose, feeling a little dazed. He didn't notice the dark shape coming up behind him. Can you see the dark shape? What do we think it is? Uh-oh, Stanley looks worried. When he turned around, Stanley found himself staring straight into the mouth of a huge shark! Oh no! That's pretty scary. Stanley shrieked. Over coral and under the weeds he sped, with the shark snapping at his tail. Finally, Stanley found a small hole in a rock below. He dived down inside to miss being gobbled up. Oh my goodness, he almost got gobbled by the shark. Deep within the cave, Stanley shivered and shook. He felt sad and lonely. He was beginning to think he'd never see his friends again. Oh no, poor Stanley is in this dark cave all alone. Well, I can't stay in here forever, he said at last. Stanley poked his head out of the cave to see see if the shark had left. Jumping jellyfish, he squealed. The sea was a golden orange, glowing and glittering. It was the most wonderful sight he had ever seen because there in front of him were his friends! Hello, it's me, he called. Stanley, his friends cheered. Where have you been? We've been looking all over for you. And Stanley told them his adventure as they swam off into one bright, sparkly heaven. The end. So that was the bravest fish. So what do you guys think made Stanley brave? All right, so the first thing I think made Stanley brave was that when he saw that glow at the ship, he thought it was his friends. He didn't know. But he showed that he was brave and had courage because he swam as fast as his little fins could take him to see what that glow was. So our first thing that made him brave and show courage is swimming to the pirate ship that was sunken, and he saw that glow thinking it was his friends. But what happened? It wasn't. It was a mean old lobster. So the next thing that made him brave was facing the lobster that was mean and growling and snapping his claws. Still asked him where his friends were. So that also showed that he was brave. All right, so how about when he saw that reflection that he thought was his friends? It only ended up being his own reflection in that pearl. That showed that he was brave and had courage too, because seeing something that you're not quite sure of and still approaching it and facing it shows that you're brave and have courage. So there's another thing that made Stanley brave and showed that he had courage. So now the biggest thing in this story that showed that he had courage was when he faced that mean old shark with those big sharp teeth. He swam and hid from him, which isn't showing that he's brave because he's not facing the shark. But as he sat in that dark cave all alone, something happened. He built up courage. And what did he do? He poked his little head out to see if that shark was gone. And sure enough, he was. So that is the main reason that shows Stanley to be brave and have courage. He built it up and he said, I'm not sitting in this cave any longer. I need to go find my friends. So he left that cave to go on his adventure to continue finding his friends. So what an adventure Stanley had. And along his adventure, what did he show us? He showed us to have bravery and courage. And how he did that, we just talked about. So now that we finished the story and we've talked about what bravery is and courage is, I want you guys to take some time with an adult and talk about something that you might be scared of. How about riding your bike with no training wheels? That's kind of scary, right? Maybe you can work at not using your training wheels. And keep in mind, even if you fall and scrape your knees, you're still showing bravery and having courage by taking the wheels off and giving it a try anyways. There could be other things in your life too. So think about it with one of your adults. Sit down, write it down, and work at that goal of conquering that fear and show just how brave you are. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's talk, and we'll see you soon. Bye!